Hello and welcome to my J Talk, because if Ted gets one, I get one too. Today we are talking about nutrition. Specifically, we're talking about blood sugar. So I'm following a protocol now where I'm pricking my finger, checking my blood sugar a few times per day, and it made me want to talk to you guys about it. So on the y-axis here, we've got our blood sugar. On our x-axis, we've got time. When you wake up in the morning, your blood sugar is going to be right about there. What this dotted line signifies here is hunger. So anytime your blood sugar drops below a certain point, that is a signal to your body, to your brain, to say, hey, I'm hungry, I need to eat. Now, let's say you eat something that is high glycemic, which we're going to touch on in a second. Maybe a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, one of my favorites. What that's going to do is it's going to take my blood sugar and it is going to spike it up really, really quickly because that food is higher glycemic, meaning that the sugar gets into our blood very fast. What will happen at a certain point is your body is going to have an insulin response. Insulin is a hormone that is a storage signal, and it takes that sugar that's in your blood and stores it away, and it could be in your liver, it could be in your muscle, it could be in fatty tissue. However, because our blood sugar went up so rapidly, we're going to have an overproduction of insulin, which is going to cause a drop in our blood sugar. So high spike, high response, too high of a response causes that blood sugar to drop. Now we're back below that hunger line again, but we're not actually hungry. Our body is lying to us. If you've ever, I always like to use the Chinese food example. I know this happens to me. I order Chinese food, I get it, I eat until I cannot eat anymore, and then an hour later, my body's like, you're hungry. Lies, you're not hungry. This is what is happening. So now I'm back below that line. I eat my next item that is high glycemic again, I shoot up, I have this overproduction and I drop down. So we end up on this insane wave of blood sugar. What starts to happen, how diabetes begins to form, is our body gets less and less sensitive to this insulin response over time because it realizes, hey, it is coming down too far, too fast. We don't need to react quite as much to that response, and eventually you need to put your external insulin into your body because this response no longer happens anymore. So let's touch on the glycemic index now. So glycemic index goes from 100 at the high end to 0 at the low end, and every single food is going to fall somewhere on this index. Again, it's an indicator of how fast your body can metabolize that, or how fast it turns into sugar in your body. Things that are higher, just to give your sort of brain a chance to wrap around this, chips would be an example of a high glycemic food. Nuts would be lower glycemic. So if you're craving something salty, maybe instead of having the potato chips, go check out the nuts. White bread, high glycemic, very quickly processed by our body. Sprouted bread takes some time, lower glycemic. Whole grains, our body, that fiber causes our body to digest those things slower. And what happens when we eat lower glycemic foods is I get a curve where I'm hungry, I eat, I get an insulin response, I eat. And so we smooth out what this curve looks like. And our body isn't on this crazy roller coaster of starving, hungry, starving, hungry, right? And we are at a much more sustainable long-term output throughout the course of the day. So that is your lesson in blood sugar. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Bye, guys.